What I want to discuss today, you're all here looking at Talanton from an investment point of view. Monique and I have always looked at Talanton as a donation point of view. I just want to give you some background as to how we've ended up with that. We were married over 50 years ago. Neither of us were Christian. Neither of us had any money. After 3 years, Monique became a Christian. Some 10 years later, I followed. I might add, I still meet people in Monique's Bible studies who look at me curiously, say, "So you were the person we were praying for." At the age of 30, myself and two partners decided we were going to go into business on our own. The business we were trying to do in supply chain, we needed to create a global footprint. In the year 2000, we took that company public on NASDAQ. We had just been on a road show, and I got back from the road show, and Monique says, it invited us on an inside trip. My first reaction was, no time, very busy. Anyway, Monique says, we committed to go, so we went. And as we were coming back on the flight from Costa Rica, I said to Monique, this is what God's called us to do. Why? It's at that stage I was zero for Christ. I'd accepted salvation, but I was zero for Christ. So I said, I'm going to need to retire. So in 2004, I retired from the organization. From Luke 12:48, this really resonated. From everyone who has been given much will be demanded. From the one who's been entrusted with much, much more will be asked. That to me was a command. It wasn't a, by the way, consider this. So I was really compelled to do that. As we set out on this program, we said, we're going to be doing this. We need to have some criteria on which we will base our giving. The first thing that we decided was we wanted to make sure that any organization that we supported Christ was preeminent in that organization. Why do I say that's important? As we looked through this track record that we'd had in that business, it was absolutely clear to me that it wasn't about the three of us. It certainly was not about me. Somehow God had been on our shoulder. He had been there. And there are various, sorry, I get emotional. There are various points where there is no doubt someone had made decisions for us. And I looked back and I said, okay, that is what happened. We need to be faithful. These are his resources, and our job in life now is to make sure that his resources are deployed in a manner in which he will be pleased. You want to make sure that organization has a clear mission. First of all, that organization honors God. Secondly, that it makes a definable difference, because it's going to make a difference in the world. The next thing we look at, does it have scale? We want to make sure that organization can grow and that it has a future. In other words, an investment, a donation is not there just for today, it's also there for tomorrow. That it is sustainable. The next one we have is leadership. Leadership is absolutely fundamental to any organization. We want to make sure that organization has a leader who has integrity, he has vision, he's honest, and someone who we can trust. The next question is transparency. We want to make sure that the organization is open with us, be it us as donors or be it you as investors. So that also is very important. That the organization has impact, that it's going to change lives, and that our dollar donations are going to have impact. We want to make sure that there are measurable results. Now, all of you sitting in this room have certainly realized that you want to make sure that you have the financial reports coming back. If you look at that and you look at Talanton, you'll immediately recognize there's a really good fit. So what do? We give to the Stewards Fund, which is part of Talanton. We designate that check for Talanton Stewards Fund. We get our tax deduction. That goes in as an investment into Talanton, and it is perpetual capital. For us, that is just a joy. It's the perfect scenario. What I really want to do here is to ask each of you to consider one thing. Yes, you've come to this organization. You probably have a DAF. You're looking at investment. Also look at the possibility of donating to Talanton and joining Monique and I in that endeavor. It'll make the organization that much more effective. For those people who are doing the investment, far more likely that results will be achieved or exceeded. Money moves into that stewards fund. It is deployed as capital. It earns the interest. It might come as debt. The interest comes back. And that capital will continue to grow and it'll be there forever. Why Talanton? It creates jobs, brings hope, and transforms lives. That absolutely fits our model. And I think someone said to me once, what is it about Talanton that makes you so enthusiastic? And I'd sum it up very simply, it's God's work. Thank you.